Those hearts will be pumping right now, Al, as they jockey for those positions, their starting positions.
Yes, indeed, Stuart, as they come your way this time on the main straightaway. Wish them well on their 20-lap journey, the 1984 Australian Sprintcar Grand Prix by Winfield.
All right, they wave to you, let's wave back. Good one.
Hurry.
There's the fireworks there. I bet we've got more fireworks in store for you any minute now. Gary Winterbottom on the pole. Car number 33, Bob Asom. Car number 4, a lot of pressure on those two drivers to take the cars in straight. Take them in neat. Take them in smooth. The next lap we should see the green flag. And boy, there's some charges coming from the back. Al, for the race call, please.
Thanks indeed, Stuart. This is PCR, and this is the Winfield Australian Sprint Car Grand Prix, event number 12. Picking them up and putting them down on turn 4. Out comes the green for Winfield. Onto the lane straightaway up through turn 1. Oh, and it's Bob Ason who backs it into turn 1. Oh, and is picked up by Dennis Parr in the 85 car, who made a lightning dash on the inside and only just clipped the stranded number 4 car of Bob Ason, and up and over went a luckless Dennis Parr on this his birthday weekend. One he'd undoubtedly wish to forget. Dennis Farr climbing out of the upturn number 85 car. He tried so desperately with the lightning fast reflexes to pull it in down on the inside of the stranded Bob Ason, but just clipped the number 4X car, and that was the result. Dennis Farr now removing his crash helmet. He's out of the car, but okay, in the hands of the starter once again as they pick up the pace down through turns 3 and 4. Arthur Cowan gives the green flag and racing in the Australian Sprint Car Grand Prix for Winfield. Again through turns 1 and 2, and it's Belinda Moore jumping out of the pack as the race leader in the 77 car. Kerry Adair also quick to move. Bob Kelly from Queensland, but around goes Belinda Moore, and there's a ball of metal flying down through turns 3 and 4, and absolutely miraculous. The only cars to come to a halt, Belinda Moore, who put the car around sideways right across in front of that pack. Rob Worthington just gliding in the 98 car, and brother Kev Worthington also putting his car around backwards to avoid the stoppage, and became part of that stoppage down on turn 3. Some anxious moments down there. Gets set to do it again. Out goes the green, and racing again up into turn 1. Saul, 20 laps remaining as they race 4 and 5 wide from turn 2 down the back section. Bob Kelly catching the flyer, and also Bruce Sutherland, the 2 Queenslanders, up to equal 4th place at the moment as they race onto the main straightaway. Okay, race leader is Kelly Adair, and Bob Kelly's getting it all together on the outside, but through comes Gary Rush from the rear. Gary Rush in the Australia number 1 car up into second. Around goes Kelly Adair this time. Cloud of dust down between turns 3 and 4, and the amber caution light coming out. Amber caution light, it's Kelly Adair, the cause of the stoppage, honking it up. Far too heavy down there between 3 and 4, and Kelly Adair going around. All gamblers 1, 2 and 3 as the green flag comes out, and Gary Rush accelerates away. Bob Kelly sitting up on the high line and taking the slingshot off turn 2. Trevor Shields back in 3rd. Bruce Sutherland from Queensland the next one through, and on the high line is Denny Smith from the United States. The big 6-litre V8 Chevys operating on the PCR action track, and the clay flying as they race down the back section. Denny Smith, the American, through into 3rd running now. And it's Steve Brazier coming from out of the back of the pack. Steve Brazier, 2 times champion of Australia, picking them up and putting them down around Trevor Shields, around the Queenslander Bruce Sutherland. Rush the leader, Danny Smith, applying the pressure to Bob Kelly, but Bob Kelly's having none of it. But through goes Smith on the inside. So the 1, 2 and 3 reader is Gary Rush, 6-time champion of Australia from the United States. Danny Smith in 2nd running. Bob Kelly from Queensland is 3rd, and Steve Brazier, 2 times champion of Australia, is 4th. What a race. The Grand Prix is settling down now. waiting. Onto the main straightaway. The 1, 2 and 3 readout. Gary Rush, Danny Smith and Bob Kelly. Oh, in trouble over now between turns 3 and 4, and it's Peter Craft. Peter Craft jumping a wheel and left facing the oncoming traffic, so the amber caution light's coming out.
Gary Rush is flying in the Australia 1 car. Danny Smith likewise in the USA 3 car. Those two guys are going to fight it out, but great to see Bob Kelly and Brazier doing well.
Out comes the green, thanks indeed, Stuart. They're racing once again at PCR. Oh, and Gary Rush up on the high line, and Danny Smith as they run off turn 2 down the back section. Bob Kelly still fighting hard in third. Steve Brazier in position 4. The drivers chasing that traction as they go higher and higher here at the PCR action track. The excitement bowl. Speedway racing supreme on the halfway mark now with 10 laps completed and 10 remaining for Australian champion Gary Rush, leading the American Danny Smith and the Queenslander Bob Kelly just in front of Steve Brazier. Down the back section they race, all in troubles for Rob Rutley halfway round, and George Tatnall gets through. George Tatnall gets through to take over 5th running now. So the readout is Rush from Danny Smith, from Bob Kelly, from Steve Brazier, and then George Tatnall. Down the back section they run for 3rd and 4th placing, but already the race leader. Oh, and Rush goes off the circuit but rejoins back in 2nd. Oh, Danny Smith is the race leader, Smith is the race leader, with Gary Rush relegated back to position 2, and the chase is on. Gary Rush will have to do it all over again. Through the down cars they go, and Steve Brazier is through to 3rd. Bob Kelly relegated back to position 4. Smith still the leader, and now a battle on again. An incredible, monumental PCR action here as Gary Rush and Danny Smith from the United States fight their way through this incredible action at PCR on the Clayway. Oh, and Danny Smith goes around, and Gary Rush is back in the lead. Danny Smith hooked up on the inside, a complete 360-degree turn, back into 2nd place, and Rush is the leader. George Tatnall, I think you'll find Tatnall has taken over 2nd running. No, Tatnall is 1 lap down. Steve Brazier in 2nd place on the 21 car. Rush the leader. Brazier in 2nd. And I think Danny Smith in 3rd. Okay, I got fingers coming at me everywhere here. Danny Smith in 2nd, but the black and white getting set to come out. We'll pick it up when they complete the race. Out comes the black and white, and Gary Rush wins the Australian Sprintcar Grand Prix. 2nd will be Danny Smith from the United States. Steve Brazier in for 3rd. 1, 2 and 3. Bob Kelly from...
Wow, what an interesting race that turned out to be as we saw the cars come across the wire. Interesting.
I think interesting might be a little bit of an understatement. I'd say monumental.
Okay, let's have a look and try and pick up what's happened out there on the raceway tonight. Gary Rush from Australia, 6-time national champion, 7-time main event winner here at PCR this summer, has won tonight's Winfield Australian Sprint Car Grand Prix.
In 4th place tonight, in car number 54, was Bob Tunks. Bob's still racing it verbally down there. Caught up again, Bobby Tunks in 4th place. And Lisa's got a presentation here for you, Bob, that'll rock your socks. Okay, and there's Lisa offering her congratulations. Some guys get all the good jobs. Bobby Tucks, yeah, I'd like to offer my congratulations. 4th place in a Grand Prix that'll go down as one of the hard ones, Bob.
Yeah, we got lost early. I had that many cars in front of me, I thought it was Parramatta Road. But we sort of once it got sorted out and I found the right part of the racetrack. We come from a long way back to get 4th, so we're pretty pleased with it.
Bob, so still a long way to go this season at the 54 car. But it's been a tough one for you.
Yeah, I think I was spoiled a bit last year. When I got into a new car that hooked up a lot better, it took a long while to sort it out. But over the last 2 or 3 meetings here and the other week at Service Paradise, we got it pretty close to the money, so we're pretty happy with it.
Bob will be looking forward for bigger and better things from you for the continuation of the season.
Thanks, Ollie. I'd just like to thank Bob Asen and Lorraine Asen for all the help that they give us. The boys and the crew, Barry Young that does the engines, and everyone that's helped us. Thanks a lot.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Bob Tunks, a hard-fought 4th place tonight. Parramatta race fans, I'd ask you to welcome back very warmly into a 3rd place tonight the man that came from out of the clouds to take 3rd. How about welcoming back Mr. Steve Brazier? Steve, we got a little lady up here called Marissa, and she's got the fabulous Winfield Trophy for 3rd place in the Grand Prix. Melissa's just going to drape this over his shoulders. That's the that's his arm there. That's it. Yep, that's the one. Steve, I'm on the end of the line here. I'll just offer him a hand. It's great to have you back at PCR, the action track, and in for 3rd tonight. And of all nights, the Winfield Grand Prix. How does it feel, Steve Brazier?
Well, I feel a little bit tired actually. I didn't actually have to come here to race tonight. We brought the boy out in the car and the plan was for him to run and see how he'd go. He never got much of a chance, so they called me into it.
Well, Steve, I know you've been taking care of business, and of course, no business, no race car. So what can the race fans look forward to from Steve Brazier from the remainder of the season, without putting the hard word on it, which I just did?
Well, I can tell you it's very hard to come back and race once a year and try and be competitive. I never used to get tired before when I was racing, and the last twice I've been here I got very tired halfway through the race, and I think the only way to cure that is to race all the time.
Well, Steve, I hope that means what it's supposed to mean, and we look forward to seeing you throughout the season here at PCR.
Well, that's easier said than done, though.
Well, let's hope for it. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you feel? Do you want to see Steve Brazier back? Yeah, okay. Steve, congratulations.
Well, thank you very much.
Steve Brazier, ladies and gentlemen. Running up in 2nd place tonight in the Grand Prix, from the United States, Mr. Danny Smith, in his final appearance at PCR. Danny, we've got the lovely Adele, who's going to present you with the 2nd place trophy on behalf of Winfield. Great supporters of the action here at Parramatta. And Adele's got something else there for you too. Danny, congratulations from all the race fans here at Parramatta City Raceway, and sadly your last appearance at PCR we hear for this season at any rate.
Yeah, it's time to go home, and we've been out here 3 months. I'm ready to go home. As soon as we get home, I start racing, our outlaw schedule. So it's a good way to spend the winter. I ended up in a good race. Gary had a little tough luck, and I got the lead, and I had a little tough luck to get it back. So it was a good race for the fans, and that's what we're here for, to put on a race for them.
Well, Danny, as I've said on so many occasions, it's always a very great pleasure indeed to have you with us here at the PCR action track. And of course, with each and every year that you race with us, the standard of Australian sprint car racing rises along with it. So I don't know what your plans are, I haven't asked you, but Danny, we just hope we see a whole bunch more of you here at PCR.
Okay, we're trying to get together a deal for next year, so we might be back.
Danny, I hope so. Ladies and gentlemen, for the final time this season, Mr. Danny Smith from the United States. And Kerry Ann Wright will be presenting the trophy for the winner of the 1984 Winfield Australian Sprintcar Grand Prix. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Gary Rush. Gary, we get to do this a lot through the season. Congratulations once again, and of course you know I speak on behalf not only of the management here at Parramatta City Raceway, but also of the many, many thousands of race fans out there. Gary, another race, and I hope there's a whole lot more of them to come.
Thanks, Alan. There might be a few, I don't know. But look, I'd like to thank all the fans for coming out, and I'm glad they all come out. I'm trying to wonder, these guys up here are holding Channel 10 up. Is it Channel 10 or is it 10 for points? I don't know what it is, but thanks, fellas. But like, I'd like to thank all the fans for coming out tonight, and all the celebrities. Thanks for coming, girls. And Winfield and the pit crew, that if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be racing. Johnny Barrett and all the boys, thanks very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've heard it so many times before, but it's always welcome. One more time for Gary Russ.